white shirt, now red, my bloody nose sleeping. You're on your tippy toes, creeping around like no one knows. Think you're so criminal. Bruises on both my knees for you. Don't say thank you or please. I do what I want when I'm wanting to. So cynical. I'm a bad guy. Duh. I'm a bad guy. So you're a tough guy, like you're really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy, just always so buff guy. I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, and seduce your dad type.
Hello. How is everybody doing? If you just saw us, act like you did and get in the chat and say hello. Thank you so much. Welcome back if you are coming back from the first live that was really interrupted, or if you're just getting here, you had extra ample time to get in here because we had to restart on a Monday getting into Derry. Ashley, how are you feeling?
I'm good. Ready to get into it.
Absolutely. We go get into these overall thoughts just in case you missed them. I wasn't the biggest fan of this episode. It was not a bad episode, but out of the three so far, this would probably be my least favorite. There were some hit and misses. I really enjoyed the Indigenous aspect, and then there were some other aspects that we'll get into later towards the end of the episode that I found to be a bit goofy. But I mean, the show was cooking, episode 1 and 2. So if they want to relax a little bit in 3, I'm going to give them some grace. And there was still some really great, spectacular moments here. Ashley, overall thoughts?
Overall thoughts, yeah, it wasn't my favorite. But I think it had potential. I think it could have been great. I really think that it should have been split up into 2 different episodes. I really would like a full episode of just backstory, of just going back. I want to go back to Pilgrim times, whenever Penny the entity first arrived. But I mean, it's cute with little Francis and little baby Indigenous. I thought that was adorable. But I wanted even more from that, and also the end part, like I said, in the cemetery with the babies on their mission, on their bike mission. I would have liked to see that in its own space as well. Overall thoughts, it was fine. Was it the best of Derry that we've seen? Absolutely not. But are we still cooking? Absolutely still going somewhere.
We're going to have to wait. I am kind of intrigued by the aspect if anybody watched Fear Street that was available on Netflix. I feel like that's the way that they're going to present this series and however many seasons we get. So if you're ready to go back to Pilgrim Time, honey, you probably don't have to wait to season 3. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. But, we're going to be patient and wait on it. And I kind of like waiting. I kind of like the aspect of the week to week, because the non-millennials and the Gen Zers, baby, it's like, what you mean week to week? Go on and drop all the episodes like y'all doing the other day. We're enjoying ourselves. But getting back in here, and thank you guys so much for joining us again. It's definitely appreciated. The 1908 circus break out. This was a fake out to me. It was a clever one because they set up all the tempos and all the feels that we've gotten from the previous It movies, especially Come Closer and We're in the Dark. The only things we were missing was all those teeth and some glowing eyes. We know the Pennywise is when we see them, but when I heard the circus music and I saw the 1908, I thought that we were going to get into a little bit of Inception. And I didn't think that they were going to lay everything out here, but I thought we might just get a glimpse of either Pennywise or Pennywise like post who, we decide to mimic and get into Miss Kirsch. Miss Kirsch said, my daddy joined the circus. And we've referenced that so many times when we get into Beverly Marsh. And I feel like this was a spectacular time to see it. But not only did we not get any Pennywise, this was nothing of the sort. You can't tell me this wasn't little baby Kirsch sitting over here, because it's very, very Pennywise coded with the balloons and the makeup and the hair. I don't know. They just didn't want to take us here right away, and maybe we'll get into that later. I just wanted a little bit. I didn't need everything here. I just needed a little snack until we get to where we're going. But I guess it's cute to think that we're there. But we just got Francis and his ode to the It slingshot. Ashley, how did you feel about the beginning? And did you expect to get into Lil Kirsch and Daddy Kirsch?
I mean, I didn't know about them. I mean, well, I know about them, but I wasn't thinking about them at all. I was honestly thinking, who's this little boy present day, and why does he have this slingshot that we see in the '90s version of it? I was like, oh, nothing goes to waste over here in the It universe. But no, I thought it was fine. I don't mind getting an origin story for Francis and ultimately discovering Francis as the general. I thought that was a good tie-in, and like I said, even though we don't get to see Pennywise here, they do a good job of bringing us back to it at the very end. I think, again, the writers are very smart in the series, and I think they're taking us down a path patiently. But again, I still want to know more about the lore. I want to know what the community, what our tribal elders know about this entity. I want to know about the boundary of the forest. Again, I want to know how from adjacent this really is, because it seems at this point the entity is still confined to the forest. So how does that change? Where do we go? I just really wanted this expanded upon. I really feel like it could have been a whole episode. I want to know what Francis's deepest fears are. I want to know what that relationship was like with his dad. It seems somewhat strained. We see his dad come in kind of hard, and that he was also a military brat. I mean, if we're gonna go back there, give it to me fully. I want to know what the indigenous children was going through back then, and I want to know about Baby Clown. Open it up. If we're gonna go here, let's just go all the way here. In my opinion, that's what I would have liked to see.
They said sprinkle,
I know.
sprinkle.
I know.
It says sprinkle, sprinkle. You're only going to get a little bit, and then we're going to get Francis's immediate worst fear because we saw this, old man with one eye, and this is, what Pennywise decides to cough up the moment. But I'm just really ready to get into the inception and see whatever. I want to see what form Pennywise had, no matter what it is. We know that it can take a whole lot of forms, but I want to know the form that it was currently in when it was like, you know what? That man over there in that circus and that clown looks real approachable. I think I need to take on that so I could really get to dropping bodies. Like, where were you when that happened? And how did little baby Kirsch get into that? Because Kirsch's daddy was probably her daddy one day, but then clearly daddy became Pennywise and that whole thing. But getting into roles in these woods, because it can't leave the woods for now because we know eventually it does. We have them meet here, and I was like, oh, everybody just got all the crushes that happen in Derry. For Derry to be such a sad ass place, all the kids are able to find a crush and love underneath the age of 14. They just be living their best life. Living their life, apparently. But like you said, Daddy did come in a little hot, but it is to be expected from him being a military dad. But it's also how much of that is military dad and how much of that is Derry. And if this is you now, what were you after Derry got a hold to you? But we get into, the soft exchanges and the slingshots, and like we said, the worst fear. Clearly, Francis is deaf. Because didn't you hear me tell you to stop? I told you to stop. We don't go that far. Just stop right there, and we get the chase down. And of course, Indigenous Rose has to go save him because I'm gonna look out for my boy. The main thing that we're getting into later when we're having the meeting, I say, look at all these colored people. Look at all this community just here ready to pipe up all about their land because they just feel like, oh, you guys are encroaching on our land. All you do, it was giving anybody who's seen Stephen King's Thinner, it was giving white men from town. White man from town trying to come on down and take our land again. We're not doing this. And it's just like, no. Rose and probably several other indigenous people there who maybe are deeper into the lore know that there's something deeper going on here. So let's just kind of wait and see exactly what they're looking for before, Taylour, aka, Bella's other side, Boo Jacob, goes on down there and reads them the riot act and gets to flipping stuff upside down. Like, no, let's just wait and see. First, we have old cutie pie. Oh my god, anything I can get in here in your shop for 5 cents. I was like, this is the shop that's been around forever, the bicycle shop where we got the silver. But where did all the indigenous people go? Where did all they go? Right along with all the black people. Where did everybody go and why? I know so much about, the black spot and what happened there, but I'm really looking forward to learning what happened here. As far as it not going beyond the woods, I think, of course, they know about the lore, so I don't know if they conjured up something or created some barrier to where it can't. But we do know with this underwater pipeline or what Francis current day is claiming he's doing there. This is going to assist in that deep sewer line and gives Pennywise the space to run all underneath Derry and get to kids anyway. So maybe that breaks it. But he gets here in their bond 10 years later. I didn't remember anything, but I remember everything now. Cease and desist or not, girl, you can trust me. I'm your friend. We're friends. I don't trust Francis as far as I can throw him. If you remember enough, because we just saw that moment in the woods. We don't know what transpired before he grew up and got into the whatever. You know enough to know that that's not something that we want to tamper with because you were up close and personal. Why are you seeking it out now? And I'm not trusting you at all. I think you're foolish. Ashley?
Part of me is on the fence because after all, that's Harry, that's Dexter's daddy. So in my mind, he's kind of going to be on the right side, but maybe willing to do some things that aren't so right to get there. My biggest conundrum with him, with Francis, is the idea that I don't remember you, but I remember it. Right. So like, how do I make that distinction? Because no, I didn't remember you till I walked in here. Like I'm really trying to wrap my head around, and I know we know from the other movies that when you move away, you kind of forget the events and the things that have happened there, but not everything, right? Like there should still be a knowledge of who she is. I'm really, really excited and interested to learn about the lore. There is clearly some practice they have in place or some agreement that the tribe has made with the entity. I want to dive all into that. I feel like there's a story in and of itself over there. I think Nephew knows. I think Nephew knows teas. I think a lot of the tribe knows the teas. Maybe the elders or maybe the ones that were kind of in power do. But Rose has wisdom. I trust her. I like her when she was in the meeting and she's kind of running it and advising and like, okay, I'm going to present this. I think she's aware and fully knows. I think she knows more about the entity or Pennywise than, of course, Francis does. I was just really waiting on a meeting of the minds there, more than just, oh, so it's you. All right, that makes me feel great. Okay, well, I'll present it at the next meeting. I really thought we were going to get into the thick of it because even when we flash back, she's like, yeah, we know about this, but there was no further elaboration on it. So I want to know. And his little thing, what I thought was interesting was the fact that he says, when he's leaving as a little boy, promise me you won't forget me. We're leaving, we're doing all this, and then that's the thing that happens. I really want to know more about this. I really want to see what's going to develop. It's almost giving, like, are we going to do something present day about this unrequited, whatever from childhood? I'm very interested to see, but I'm really, really interested in seeing the indigenous element of all of this.
Don't nobody want Francis Shaw. Rose, guard your goods. We're not going back down that route. And I'm guessing since we didn't get it here with their conversation, we're gonna flash back again and Rose will tell him, well, this is why it can only go so far. We didn't get it here though. But I don't trust Francis. I think he's lying. I think he's lying to everyone and he knows more. Because if it's all of that, then why are you seeking it out? What kind of connection do you have to it? To, regardless of what I went through and what I saw with my own eyes, I'm going to seek out any and everybody, all the way to the fact of people being disposable to get closer to it. Why? Because everything that he's digging up, it is not in the name of a sewage and a pipeline underneath Derry. What are you doing? Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't go over there. I was like, Taylour, just go over there and flip stuff upside down because they're lying. But getting over here, what's going on? He said, all right, go on down to Shawshank. He said, get busy living or get busy dying. I said, y'all can't send them down there to Shawshank. Sister, we know what the sisters do at Shawshank. We know what goes on over there. That's not something that we want to see. But it's always a hard moment to watch Hank. He has no power. There's nothing that he can do, especially with old Daddy Bowers here. You know this man is innocent. You come in here with this faint ass appearance of evidence. Well, I found these cigarettes, that pack of cigarettes that she loves so much, that brand. Yeah, it was outside. Yeah, I worked there. Who knows? And you could have got that from anywhere. Who says I'm the only one? Do you have any fingerprints? Did you see? No, you got that one little head nod from Lilly, and now I'm signed, sealed, and delivered. This is Sager when he screamed, I didn't do this. Come back. I was like, oh, black man. Put on his neck. I'm sick of it. It made me mad at Lilly all over again. It made me so mad because we don't know what this means for Hank and we don't know what this means for little Ronnie. Actually, what's gonna happen with Daddy Hank? Is Hank maybe sort of kinda gonna make it out of this?
I was really disappointed in this portion of the episode as it relates to Bowers. Like when we're introduced to him in what episode 1, episode 2, whenever we meet him, it gave very much, but this is America and we're going to give him a fair shot. And it would almost seem like he was having this internal struggle around, this is not the right thing to do. As soon as, well, it's an election year, it was like a complete switch and now we're going gung ho with it. I don't know how much I really believed this scene because I don't know how you go from that, speaking truth to power allegedly, or at least feigning it, and now it's like, nah, you're going up there. Glad to see you. Won't be here for long. Hank, you're gonna fry. I was like, what are we doing, huh? As far as Hank, I like. You know how I feel about the way people write our black male characters in shows. And I just, I hate this. He's been powerless and weak this entire time. Like, he's just dang out of the frying pan into the fire, damn it. Like, he was already working at the movie theater, living with his mama. Like, damn, how much further do we have to go? And so, I mean, I'm honestly surprised the People's Justice hasn't taken over and done anything worse to him. They're playing it very cool. He's getting way more rights and respect and dignity than I thought he would. But this seems impossible. Unless Ronnie and her ragtag crew of losers can bust him out, Hank's going to Shawshank, baby. And he better make a friend there. Because, what are you going to do?
I actually like Daddy Bowers in this internal dilemma that seems fake. I feel like that's the it in the entity kind of seeping into these people. That is the most interesting thing that I've been anticipating. I know it's not Doc because clearly Doc got away and got his little fate at The Shining. But whether it's Daddy Leroy or Mama Charlotte, any of the new people that we've met who are just absolutely new to Derry, I want to watch them transition and the it take over and see how it is. I think maybe he was having a little forethought. Well, this isn't right. This is America. We can't. And it's just like I don't know what he conjures up down there to have full control over these people. But I think it was a little bit of that. So I do like him kind of being indifferent and then automatically showing up here and just being goddamn evil. It was just like you're just evil. You're so damn evil. Like, you know this man is innocent. Don't come in here and toy with me and toy with any cigarettes. You're talking about my life and my baby's life. We
You
don't
would have
need
never thought you would have never thought Bowers even stood up for him. And outside of that, there is something else I will say about Hank. I do feel as though he's one of those outliers, kind of like Will's mama. And I do think that automatically made him a target. Again, like I was saying last week, I think anybody who's outside of the lines, who's not fully compliant or under the spell, is, a potential victim in Derry. I don't think they last long.
I just think it's something seething because you'll have I like the webs and flows of the people here. It's kind of like a precursor, like the evil hasn't completely set in. Because once we get into Derry and they oh my god, girl, it's just everybody's just a criminal and just evil. Like I went and rewatched It Chapter 2 and that opening scene. I was like, oh my god, awful. Like y'all just all murderers and committing crimes and just despicable beings, but here they're just kind of uncanny. You can tell something's going on, but everybody's almost just happy. Like no, them
Yeah.
people weren't happy when we saw them. They're just ignoring everything that they see, and if it does come across my way, I'm just evil as hell. All right, I thought she was a nurse. I was gonna say, run, Lily. You don't trust any nurses down at the institution. No, this is housekeeping. This is head of housekeeping and maybe an ally. I don't know. I thought we were going to spend a little bit more time here in Jupiter. We leave immediately. I was like, I don't. How much time has went by?
I'm getting
How
nothing with
long?
you.
How long has Hank been locked up? Because all we hear is, we fixed her, we upped her dosage, and yeah, she's free to go home. What are you giving her? What are you giving her? Now we do see, the strains of Jupiter on some of the people there, but it's really lingering and really like quick shots. The most we get here with the head of housekeeping is that maybe she's been here in Derry and you know more than you're putting on, lady. Like, look now, if you're gonna be an ally, be one for real. I'm gonna say that she's an ally, not just because of what she said, but she made sure to reference that bracelet and put it on her. and wanted to give some encouragement as far as Ronnie. She's like, I'll just do anything. I'll do anything to fix it. Lily. All right. All right, girl. But she said she's going to do anything to get out there and fix it. I really don't even know her that well, but I can fix it. Yeah, you do that. You go and you believe in yourself and only share so much. Some people only believe what they can see. Like, girl, I know. I've been there. Girl, if you've been there, back me up. Don't just be down here emptying bedpans and cleaning. Girl, help me. But I don't know. We'll probably see this lady again, but she did put the turtle on the wrist. Actually, how did you feel about this? And did you want to spend a little bit more time here?
Yeah, we needed to be at Juniper Hills or whatever it is. We needed that. However, first of all, Lily's mother's a whore. I honestly believe that she is a woman of ill repute who works the streets. You're not gonna. That's just a side note. I had to get that off my chest because immediately when I saw her looking in there like a dizzy dame, walking all gap leg, I said, Lily's mother's a whore. Like, I just felt it. You know what I mean? She's probably selling cat on the weekend. That's why she's so angry at me. It's just how I feel. It's a side story. It's just what I felt as I saw her.
Cat in Derry, Ashley.
Huh?
Who's purchasing cat in Derry?
Probably Bowers. We're on a military base, sister. I'm just saying, something is nefarious about her. I think she sells cat on the weekend, and don't ask no questions about it. Because also, how you know about the seedy part of town? How you know about Ronnie grandmama? Like, there's questions that need answers. But outside of that, this also is not the head of housekeeping. Y'all are not gonna piss in my mouth and tell me it's raining. That's what's not gonna happen. Look at the attire, the pearls. You're the head of housekeeping and you're wearing the pearls and the nursing frock and the sweater and the obligatory headband, Sister Susie. No. Also, you're feeding into her delusion, which lets me know you're sinister. You're of the entity. You're of the entity and you are slow rolling it. She is slow. This is not a friend of hers, okay? Because what we're never going to do is let a little lunatic feed into their delusion. We're not, well, if you saw it, baby, I believe you. If you don't let them convince you that you didn't see what you think you saw, that's not a healthcare professional. That's not a housekeeper. This is of the entity. I don't trust her. Mark my words, y'all. This is a foe. All right? Romeo, thou art a villain. That's a villain, Tyra. But no, I really wanted to be there longer. I wanted to see how the people are treated there. I want to see more people admitted to Juniper Hills because everybody's loony in Derry. I want to see the practitioners. I want to see what the treatment looked like. They didn't give me enough. I needed more.
I don't know, because I think it's far more than just, because I know we're expecting, okay, bring out the shock therapy and whatever else. I don't know what else you're doing. I tried to leave you in the middle of the role with head of housekeeping because how deeply she fed into the delusions. Like, yeah, she formed this bond with such and such from housekeeping and she wanted to say goodbye and we're tucking the corners. And I put what's Lily's like fate next because if this is the institution that we think it is, the worst thing that they're going to try to do is have her feed into the delusion and nobody believes her outside and she's caught in a way again like she was in the grocery store and then she's committed back and we have to tell mommy, oh, okay, now look, we upped her dosage. We have to go even further this time and be really invasive because Lily's losing it. I don't know. This could be a setup for Lily to end up back here and
exactly.
really being away. Now, the selling cat from the mom, I'm going to have to go run those scenes back.
Run right back.
Thank you so much, Dominique. Ashley said Lily's mom is selling cat and fish dinners on the weekend for extra change.
That's what it's giving.
Man, she did. I don't know. Well, you know that Daddy ain't there no more. How we making ends meet? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Got to get that cash somewhere.
I don't know. Actually, only you would go and find that.
I just had to get it off my chest. You do. You see 2 more from Jantis. I think you should see 2.
I'm looking. This is just being real raggedy with us. I see this one here from Jantis also. Let me see. I thought I saw another one earlier. Let's see. I knew Lily's mom was an ish when she told her, "You're not the only one with problems, huh?" She's a kid that lost her father in a horrific accident. Yeah, I'm expecting the parents to be trash. Being trash is one thing, and unconcerned and uncaring. Selling cat is another. I don't.
Oh, her first one says, Jantis's first one says, the nurse at the asylum knows something.
Oh, she definitely. That's what I was looking for. She definitely does. She knows something, whether it's for good or bad. Now, I think they tried to just kind of throw us in a way to kind of be indifferent with her. Like, oh, she put the Lucky Charm on her. She put the turtle on her. So maybe she has good intentions and really wants to help Lilly. But yeah, the head of housekeeping on down here. Yeah, go out there. Yeah, you go on those quests and you go over there with Ronnie. You fix those things no matter what anybody says. I believe you. Yeah, but you don't believe me enough to back me up here. And even if you could, who the hell are you? I don't know. You're trying to get me back here so they can dope me up and fry me. I'm not doing it.
Right.
I'm not doing it. But with a mama like that on the outside waiting for you, you're gonna clamor for anything you can get from anybody. It's just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and make it right with Ronnie. It's like, oh Lord, don't make it too right because you're gonna be back here and they're gonna shock you. Now we got into this buggy situation, and I'm hoping that it's another scene that we get to see, especially in those first It movies. We always hear whether it's like going through the history and all of these massive massacres that happen. Whether it's the children coming up missing, that's one thing. But they always have these really big events where all this murder takes place, and this is when we have, I guess, this incident where General was. You were there. You were there. You were present in these 30s to see what happened and what took place. And yeah, the cars got shot up. There was shooting in the streets. It was the wild wild west out here. A whole lot of people died. It's just like, you know what? No, not this time. Because we got Doc on our side and we have Leroy over here. Something's going to be different. Because the lieutenant's like, baby, we using all of our manpower, all of our resources. It's just a whole lot. And who's to say that this isn't putting a strain on Doc? No, we're going to keep going, and it's not going to be like this. I want to go back to this and see what happened and see what else he's pretending he doesn't know about. Because he knows something, and he's digging. But it's like, what connection do you have to it or any situation to want to jeopardize everybody's life to find it? I don't know. Something's weird. I think something's wrong with him. Ashley?
I mean, I definitely think he was probably forever changed, but did it have a chance to really like deeply embed in him in some way? I'm very interested about two flashbacks that we get. And of course, I know you'll probably have a slide for Dick and his vision and what he saw. But here, I want to see it. Like, I want to see who these gangsters were. I want to see the bodies laying in the streets of Derry and what precipitated it, what brought it on. Like, was that the people's worst fear? I really want to know. For whatever reason, he's obsessed with it. For not being able to remember anything, allegedly, he sure remembers this. Also, if that's 1908, his father got stationed elsewhere and they left Derry. They're telling us he came back when he was an adult, like outside of the military, to see this, or did he see this in a vision? Like, there's so many different elements or ways that they can go with the story, because just like Dick seeing everything that happened, maybe he had a moment where he saw some things. But I'm really interested in the lore of this. I want to know who these gangsters were. I want to know if they were just, evil by our standards, or if they were kind of possessed, by something. Also, with history repeating, I'm very curious about what that means for present day Derry. Does that mean, is this what he's trying to prevent? Like it, pushing it back into the correct boundary, or like, what is it? I think they're going to have to make that make sense narratively here pretty soon, probably in the next episode or two. But I mean, I'm interested. I want to see it.
I don't trust him. I think he's lying about, I didn't remember you, and you were there, and you were there. Really, Dorothy, were you? I don't think he's forgotten anything. I think he's remembered everything. Like, you don't come here with this much force. Like, you're planning ahead. You mean, so what you got in Derry? Like, oh, it's all coming back. Let me get all these irons in the fire because I need to dig. No, you knew, and you came back here with intentions to do something. You only went on down there with Rose to give out them sweet antidotes of nothing because she sent you that cease and desist. And I don't need the Indigenous folks imposing on anything. So this is a friend. Remember me from way back when, girl? Yeah, you can trust me. I do not trust Francis one little bit. I think he's lying. There's no way. How you remember certain things? Because they leave Derry, you don't remember squat.
Well, they remembered each other, right? Like, in the lore, when they left and went and did their own lives, they did remember each other. They just didn't necessarily remember the events of their childhood, right? So,
all the more reason to remember Rose. You don't remember
I'm
her?
giving Harry a chance, Tyra. I'm giving Harry a chance.
Nothing. I don't trust him. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Child, let's get into these special gifts. You know, I was over there knocking boots with Aretha Franklin. She was on the boy. Vic said she was on the boy. She was on the kid. Aretha
They even
wasn't.
wrote a song about him. They
She
said
wrote a
what?
song about him in these special gifts and these privileges. Like, I'm really trying. I'm really trying. And I just see what's coming because before we, or well, after we board and get on the plane and we do the whole thing, and it's like, well, oh my God, yeah, Doc, whatever I can do for you. We're actually, the guys and I don't have a place to unwind unless, it's raining down on our head. We need somewhere adequate where we can drink. We saw what happened when they was trying to go down to the little bar in town. It's the black spot. It's the black spot. We're gonna have all these soldiers in this spot. Cause Dick, throw some of your weight around. Can't you throw? What about your privileges? I thought you could. Yeah, let me go on and do that. Hey, can you make that happen for me, General? It's gonna be the black spot, and it's gonna be the reason why all those people die. Oh, Doc. Anyway, this here, this was really interesting. I like the detail that they were able to capture with us going back into that layer that we've seen so many times in the other previous It films. I thought they did really great. I like the transition here from the plane all the way to walking into the water. That was great. And just to hear how much, I'm like, why are you putting all of this on Doc and Leroy's back? Yeah, we got what we need now. We got this fearless Leroy here. We got Doc. We're going to accomplish some things. Just take him up in the air and protect him and use him like a compass. Of course, we don't say anything about anything. So we got Leroy on the plane yelling to Jesus, Howlin', oh my God, answer him, please. He's yelling all the way to the point that he has to go out there and save him from himself. I like this because this seems to be maybe the most formidable thing that Doc has encountered. It's easy for me to access the realms of anybody's mind or views and get premonitions or whatever. But here, what I thought we saw there was a little bit, and I was like, y'all being cute. We only gonna get those yellow eyes. You're not gonna show him. But we saw the grandma. We saw what looks to be a war and maybe like some type of masquerade or Mardi Gras or some type of party. I feel like that was all Doc. I don't think any of that had anything to do with Pennywise. So maybe Doc got more than he expected. I'm touching this, trying to guide us to get closer to whatever the hell General's looking for. And this thing got inside my mind. I don't think anything's ever gotten inside his mind, not only to get into these memories or maybe even the future, I don't know, but baby, you was finna have me open on up the back of the plane and leap off. I don't know if I want anything having that control over me. And of course, we have some warnings because, General, I don't think we're supposed to be there. I don't think we're supposed to see that. You think we need to just chill on that and not do that anymore? Yeah, hell no. We're going to keep going. Good job, boo. It's like, unless you just stand up and walk away from this, Doc, then we're going to keep going. But if it was enough to freak you out like this, we may not want to persist. Ashley, how did you feel about this?
So yeah, I was interested in that as well because Granny, I was like, okay, this is the one who gave him The Shining. We didn't heard about her in The Shining, so we finally get to put some kind of face to a name there. I will say this: they've given Dick so much more personality than he had in those first episodes. I'm really confused about because I'm like, was Dick supposed to be this stoic figure who was there, to serve and be in the house, or is he this jokester talking about he smashed Aretha Franklin? I was really confused about that. But when we're here, I did think it was very, very interesting. And I was really at that point wondering because I'm like, okay, has Dick seen action before this? Like, why would he be seeing this? Or did something happen on these grounds? And I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to be in the uniforms they were if it did. So I like your idea that this is all playing on his issues and his past. But also the warning that Big Mama gave, like, get out of here. Like, this is not safe for you. Like, this is a dangerous place. I think you should leave. And I do agree that he's used to playing in everybody else's head and has never had anything play in his. And I don't think Pennywise was going to let that happen. Like, I don't think the entity was going to let that happen. I liked the scene though. This was probably one of my most favorite parts of the episode, because I think finally, because in The Shining, you're like, okay, he's got this knowing, he knows what people are thinking, he kind of has a sense of what's going to happen. But this, we actually kind of get to really see it. And I like that for him. Honestly, I think Dick could have his own show. Like, I'd be interested in seeing how The Shining works and everything he's done with it up to the point that we meet him, you know, much, much later on. But as far as his privilege, he's always going to be Master's boy. And I really don't like that from our perspective. Even until now, we don't really see him with any autonomy, with any real purpose or dream or drive of his own. Everything else is kind of influenced. I think the only thing we've seen up to this point of him kind of standing up was saying, like, hey, I don't think you should do this. Like, yeah, I was supposed to go there and be in his lair, and I fear he got into mine, and this is not a safe place. If you guys don't retreat, this is going to end badly. That's the first time I really saw him even stand up to Francis. So it'll be really interesting. I'm curious about what they're going to do with him. And like I said, I'd be interested in Dick having his own show. I really want to know about The Shining. I really want to know about it.
I know you better listen to Granny. Even in that state, floating down. She said, baby, get out of here. What are you doing in here? This is not going to end well. Get out of here. I think we saw so much fire in the flame in those visions, because we're going to get into the black spot and things that are, but I do like that it's not just the past. I feel like there was some things from the future too, but I don't know how much of that was Pennywise. Most of that felt like it was Doc, and it's like, whoa, like what you doing in there? But it was cute, a little. What? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I saw someone in the comments say, you don't think Penny was saying that through his grandma? I don't think Pennywise would have issued him a formal warning that way. And I like it because he does have this telepathic psychic ability, which enables him to do things other people can't do inside of a dream or like a delusion. I like that. I just really wish we could get more of it. Like, I really want to know what Dick be dreaming about at night. Like, what you be seeing, and how does your gift really work is what I'm interested in. But I think that was grandma. I do. I think it was grandma.
I think it was, simultaneously grandma a warning, but it was also, yeah, this is too much. This thing is in my mind. I need to get the hell out of here. Meanwhile, we're opening up the latch to the plane, and Leroy had to come through with the save. So, gotta take care of each other, Doc. On down there with Aretha. She wanted your boy. What? Please, Doc. Nobody on you. But outside of that, Doc comes to dinner. He invites him over and says, you know what, we're getting a little closer. Come on down and have dinner. You get a little mud cake with my wife. I like the conversation here. It's always interesting with Doc because he knows what you're thinking. He knows what's going on. So he was like, yeah, Charlotte, I don't know about you. I was like, first of all, Doc, calm down at my table. Calm down at my table. Like, girl, yeah, you don't like it here. It's okay, girl. Say it. You hate it here. This is not what you about. Actually, it's really not. He was down there doing what? At the lunch counters being a little activist. I see you. Leroy's like, yo, we ain't doing that here. We are not doing that here. Don't worry about that. The main thing I'm sure that we took away from this conversation, outside of him just coming through with dinner and getting into Charlotte, we know how Charlotte's gonna move next episode, and we're gonna be waiting on it. Yeah, I know that was you in my room, Doc. I was like, Doc, you were just, Doc. Really, Doc? It's like, yeah, you were just, I felt it. I feel feelings. I don't know what you got going on, but I know what I felt. And you were in there. You didn't have the pipe, but you were there. And he didn't have anything to say. He didn't have anything to say. We just make an agreement to disagree. Hey, you stay out of my mind. Don't do any of that. Yeah, I wouldn't dare. Me and your mind? I saw what was in that mind. Once again, another problem. Most people think about life and what they have
family.
In their family. It was nothing. You were
not you.
Not you. It was nothing there. I was like, see, I knew it. That's why we couldn't think about Charlotte and Will. That's both a good and a bad thing, depending on what type of situation he is in. I really hated the fact that Doc was in that room, like, do y'all want me to like Dick? Y'all couldn't possibly want me to. I guess this is up to par with his character that we get into The Shining, but I guess just meeting him earlier, we want to think that he's more than what he is for what he represents here and being a fellow black man. Y'all not in my face. It's like, no, y'all can beat him. I'm just not going to take place in the meeting, but I'm going to be in the room. Why? So you can be in there to get into his head and see what's going on with him and get into his feelings, so you can report back to the general. Sad, Doc. You pissing me off. Ashley?
All skinfolk ain't kinfolk. I tried to tell y'all. I told y'all that same night we talked about it. I said he was there. Dick was there on assignment, working for the man every night and day. But I mean, it was, the dinner was cute. I really wanted more conversation there because we did get to learn a little bit more about Charlotte. Like, no, this is who she is. She's an activist. She's not going to play them games. And she was a teacher. And I think that's a lethal combination. And I love that for her. And I really want to see what she's going to do in town because the men folk aren't going to do it. All right. we yet again, a black woman carrying on our shoulders, right? But she's going to have to be the one to stand for something and for someone. I really see her as a freedom fighter this season. We're going to have to see her step up. I don't know if it's going to be for Hank. I don't know if it's going to be for some of these kids, but we see that she's not afraid to stick her neck out, her body out, whatever out in order to defend the people, Tyra. And I know that's not what you want to see, but that's just who Charlotte is inherently. I will say I like the conversation at the dinner table because she's like, "Oh, you guys are two of the same. Oh, you're like my husband." It gave very much I'm disgusted. Get up from my table. As far as Dick, like I just don't expect anything more from him, and I want to expect more from Leroy, right? Like I think for Dick, this is what we're getting. Like he's just gonna be him with that polite warning, and he'll probably see some stuff. He might pull one person to the side, like, "Hey, you might not want to." But honestly, he's for himself. He's really not a man of the people, other than getting this black spot, which we all know is going to happen there. What are you doing with this privilege, with all of this that you're having? But I will say, Leroy in the conversation, it was cute. I knew Dick was there the whole time because he's an op. But what does this mean for their friendship? Now you done invited this man in your house. You're asking about his son. We know how you like kids, Dick. What do you mean? What do you mean to Will? What do you have to say about Will and his stardust? Do not kill my baby's dreams. Don't do it. I don't need Dick to have any conversation with Will. Don't do it. That's what'll ruin him. If you talk about he gonna be on crack, that's what'll do it. Keep Dick away from Will.
Oh, they did. They had baby Mike outside in the hallway on that tricycle, dying in the fight because they was in there hitting them rocks. Both of them, mama and daddy. It's like, look here, not my baby Will, not his ambitions. I hate to see it. I can't wait to get into Charlotte's fate. You can't tell me Charlotte is for her to freedom fighter or not. And you talking about getting behind somebody, baby. She gonna get behind Hank. That's all I need to see. We don't know what's gonna happen. But that's what I'm here for. But as far as like in the future, I think we're getting into the breakdown of the family. And for Will to get into that state, to be over there with crack and whatever else we're gonna get into, I feel like it broke down. I do not see Charlotte sticking around in Derry. Unless it overtakes her and we get to see the decline of Charlotte, maybe I'm packing my raggedy duffel bag and I'm taking my son with me. Like, for what? Stay here for what? The moment she gets a glimpse that something's going on, she's getting out of there. Thank you so much, Roses. But do you think it will also feed off the prejudice in the town? Maybe this is what made his force field go beyond the forest. Absolutely, because he's embedded some things into those people. The fact that, because you couldn't tell me that, I think the entire beginning of the episode, I kept waiting for Francis's dad to pop up, like, "Hey, we don't play with the indigenous kids," like, or just some type of divide to be created. And even down at the fair, like those still, for the most part, in the circus, they felt like regular like townsfolk. But once we get into the later years, it seems like it's overtaking. I'm sure it all works as like this well-oiled machine to keep him where he is, because we have to keep those people evil and complacent. So when all of these deeds happens, not only is somebody looking the other way, but we have innocent people take the fall, like a Hank. Ashley?
Yeah, definitely. I think it works. I think they work like interchangeably. I think each of them fuels each other. And if we really think about it and kind of want to go just a little bit deeper in terms of racism and prejudice, 9 times out of 10, it's fueled out of fear, right? Like, or at least that's what they say on the outset of it. Like, I fear what I don't understand. I fear what I don't know. I fear what comes with being different. And absolutely, that plays right into Pennywise's cards. And I think they kind of run hand in hand. I think as his power increases, that element increases, and vice versa. I think as fear increases, racism is going to increase prejudice as well as him. So I think it's like this symbiotic relationship that's going on in Derry right now. So I'll be very, very interested to see how it pans out. Like I said before, I don't necessarily, I mean, racism is there undeniably, right? But it's really not the main thing that the showrunner and the writers are really trying to put on us right now. I think they're really trying to show the difference between complacency and being different. But I will get into it hopefully by the end of this season and find out what their motive is. But I absolutely agree, Rose's Bud.
Yeah, and even in there, I think race aside, as long as you're falling in line and you're just complacent and overtaken by the entity, nobody would care otherwise. But the
Yeah.
moment you have the nerve to be forethought and just be all in you black, oh no, now it's really, going to kick in. Because I keep waiting for somebody to roll up on Leroy's porch for some, like, we haven't really seen any of that. It's just like, oh, you're trying to change things, you're trying to stick up for the common man. I think when Charlotte gets to rocking, that's when it's going to get messy. And I still, that's why I think she's leaving, because when she made that little point, like, oh, you and my husband are both in the same, and of course, Dick gave his view about men in the war and the limitations, and we understand that. But there's that, and there's also what you're doing. It's totally different. But I
Yeah.
feel like Leroy has the potential to be just as complacent on the job, depending on how connected he is to it, especially with how fearless he is. But we can only tell. I don't have no faith in any of the men, clearly. Which is sad. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat, the hash slinging slasher. Shout out to SpongeBob. Dick Allen is carrying this show. Dick is a great character, even though he's a hot mess. He's a great character. But I like pretty much everybody. If I could say anybody's carrying, I'm gonna put it over there with them kids. They're carrying down to me. I'm really proud of
That's
that.
what I'm saying. It's the
But thank you
babies.
so much for supporting. I really, really
Not
appreciate it.
$50. Go on the hash slinging slasher.
$40. It's $50, Ashley. We're gonna see. I try to keep, faith out. But the moment I go over there in the it chapters and I meet old Daddy Leroy, I was like, oh, Grandpa, oh, you can be out here with us or in there. Oh, I was like, oh my God, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad, Leroy? What happened? How did you become a common farmer? What happened? Huh?
Mhm.
You know what happened. Oh, this would be so cute if we believed it was going to work and mean something. I love it though. I love how childlike this is. Then when Ronnie said, "Girl, how I ought to whoop your ass," see, I know that's right.
I said, do it.
Ronnie, lay them hands, Ronnie. So sit me with them hands home, because I'm tired. Don't come in here telling me nothing. Oh, you said what? You gonna do what about my daddy? I mean, all right. I mean, when you put it like that, I can refrain from the ass whooping. But girl, I swear to God, because I'm pissed off. But we have the bright idea here. Nobody's going to believe us no matter what we say. I do want Daddy Hank to get out of jail. So the best thing that we could probably do is take some pictures and get some photo proof. But we have to get them developed and make some friends to do that, because neither of us do. We know that this isn't going to matter. We know that it's not going to matter. And as quickly as whomever they decide to show those pictures to, it's going to be written off. But it was nice to see them with hope. I'm just trying with these kids because I already love all of these kids, but we do know that this isn't the lucky group that ultimately stops the it. So they're going to be at the firm hand of it, and we're probably going to see them go down. And I'm not looking forward to that. But while we're here, I'm enjoying them while we can. Cool ass rich, as I like to call them. So it's all right. You got a little crush. I see you over there, because me and Marge. So you gonna bring up Marge? Marge was nowhere in this episode, and he had to bring her up, and he's just gloating and floating on flights of fancy, like, that's my girl right there. You ever wrote some poems in your shoes? Who writes poems in your shoes? Somebody. I don't know who, but you write poems in your shoes so nobody will see them. I really like Rich, but we of course get everybody here together, and then we get into the plan later. But Ashley, how did you feel about us embarking on this, and we know that it's not going to matter? Ashley, are you frozen? Let me go back out of here. Let me put this here. Go out of here. For sure, y'all actually done froze up. I don't know. Y'all comment down here in the chat and let me know if y'all can still hear and see me because I don't know what happened. Let me see. I'm gonna refresh this and then I'm gonna come back. Let's see. Let's try it again. Let me pause this and put Ashley back over here.
Boom, baby, am I back?
Yeah, I had to make sure. I was like, can
Can you see
Ashley?
me? Can you
No,
hear me?
you're fine. I couldn't. You were like in a state of like I'm about to talk, so I'm like Ashley, but you were just frozen like that. You were just frozen like that. But I was
Oh.
asking, how did you feel about this being used in this innocence and how gleeful they are that this could work, but we know it isn't.
Oh yeah, I love a Goonies mission, like on our bikes, a Sandlot mission, a damn My Girl biking situation. Like let's go. I think it's so cute, and it's just hey, it's the nostalgia in me. It's the millennial deep down on the inside of me. I love it, and I do love the innocence of youth, and that's what I adore about these actors, these baby actors. They fully encapsulate what it is to be young and to still be like idealistic and just simple, right? Like, oh yeah, if we do this and catch it, they can't help but believe us, and we can get the help we need to do what we need to do to free your daddy, and it's gonna work out. I love that like forever optimism, idealism that only you get from children, and I think they perfected that. Is the mission special? Absolutely. If Teddy was there, this would not happen. If they wouldn't have killed my baby Teddy off in the first episode, he could have convinced them and given them a little bit of reason. But I like the link up. I like that we're connecting with Richie and Will. It's cute. Baby Regina over here and Raggedy Lily. I didn't need to hear about Marge. You know, I want it to suck her down the sewer pipe. I don't care for Marge. I don't want to see her name. I don't want to hear her spoken of. She who must not be named. Am I going to repeat it? Is it making a
Marge,
reoccurrence? I don't want
Marge,
to. Yes, I don't want to hear about Marge
I
ever
have hope.
again.
I'm gonna lose whatever from Marge because I know Marge. If she's not present, then she knows when. Because all of the Hanks, daddies, she's gonna fry, or even the prank with putting the pickles in Lily's locker. Those little heifers are doing that. Like, are you there? Are you a part of that when they're writing stuff on Ronnie's locker? Like, were you there for that? Because
She
you've been in
probably
the
did it to prove herself. We know how Marge is. She'll do
jumped in.
anything.
She got
She'll
jumped
do.
in. She
Yes,
did,
she'll
she
do
did it to prove
anything. She's
herself.
putting in work. She's putting in work, Tyra.
Well, how do you feel about these little? I think these crushes are just the cutest thing. Like the way that Mike's like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. She asked me, and I don't even believe her. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And he's like, yeah, that's what happens when you sweet on somebody. He's like, yes, what me? I don't like her like that. Yes, you do. I think it's just the cutest little thing. It's so innocent. They're gonna piss me off in this show. I know it. But thank you so much, Hassling and Slasher, for the $100 super chat. It's most definitely
Boom.
appreciated. If it lets me put it on the screen, Restream wants to be so cute today, and I'm not having it. How do you think the military finding Pennywise is going to go? Ashley, I'll let you go first.
Disastrous. I feel no, really, really bad. Because what are you going to do? I think that if, especially if these are battle worn soldiers that are here, and you're playing on their fears, and Pennywise gets into their heads, I think it'll be bedlam and utter chaos. Like, can you imagine them going in? Hold on, I smell something burning. I'm so sorry.
Go get it! This is just a lot from hell today. I'll answer until Ashley comes back. Go get it immediately. I feel like it's gonna be a hot mess. I don't know how far it's gonna go. I don't know if it'll just be the people coming, like the military, at each other's throats. I don't know how much power Pennywise has because you could tell that over the years and all the fear that's embedded, the control that it has over the state of Derry and the people. And I don't know if that's just at its max just yet because it seems like we're having these little small town little massacres or just centered situations, but we could definitely have that on the base. If we do, it's gonna be high hell because even with the base, who the hell is the what do they call it, the white league of the White League of whatever it is, the clan that's gonna be running
Yeah.
around. Who are they? Who are they, and where do they come from? Is this, everybody who's down here in the military? Is this just your common man that's just walking around Derry? Who is it? I want to know. Actually, did you have anything? What, are you okay?
Girl, I am. You turn the heat. What you turn the heat on for?
What?
Golly, you know the first time you turn the heat on in the season, it's like it's got that smell. What are you doing?
Oh Lord.
Anyways, yeah, but that's what I think too. I think it's going to be utter chaos, and they've got blickies, so it's going to be bad.
Now they got blinkies. Tyra, what happened to F them kids? Not these kids. They don't care about these kids. F the kids who I don't care about, who can't act, who aren't delivering, who need to die because they doing dumb stuff. But not these babies. We need them to live. Oh, we need them to live. And Ronnie better not end up being and they have different names hopefully, but they take what's in these books and they do different things. Ronnie better not be Mike's mama who's down there with the crack rock, because then I'm gonna really be mad. We already got her daddy locked up. Where are we going with this?
Probably Lily Mama down there with the crack, right? I'll
You
be
just
turned
gonna
around.
really down there in the Lily Mama in the streets in the gutter every single time, right? We'll see. But leaving it here, even though Ashley was a fan and we were getting, it was really Goonies coded. Really, I was like, I did not like this. I did not like this one bit. I did like the comedic aspect when we're getting into Rich. This was like Rich turned into Coco. It turned into Encanto. He was like, yeah, my uncle, them had said, like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll with it as long as my boy Will is here. Yeah, this, Day of the Dead lesson. Yeah, I was kind of over there when he told me the ritual to summon some things. Like, yeah, do you think you can do that again? Yeah, let's go down to the graveyard. Just lying. Just lying about everything. That was very entertaining. What I didn't like about this was how whimsical it was in the visuals. This looked terrible. I did not like this. It looked like old, not I can't even say like old, outdated, like Ghostbusters. It was just bad. I was excited as I was, even though they were in that form. I was like, oh, look at little baby and Phil and Teddy and his Uncle Dale that he swear he got this from. It felt goofy. The temperature and like the rating and whatever like forum that we've been in that's been really like haunting, daunting, scary, gruesome, it just kind of lifted and it turned into the Disney Channel. I was like, why are we here? I didn't come over here for that. Yes, Dana was very haunted mansion. I didn't like that. I like how serious things are. And when we leave something that's just like visually perfect and really matchy, like that scene with Doc and Pennywise, you couldn't tell me Pennywise wasn't gonna hop out and do that little dance moment. Like it was matching so perfect. And then we get here and it's just goofy and childish. And I'm cool with that because these are children. But I feel like the temperament in the show shifted to, it felt like a completely different show. It felt like we went to something with kids. It was one of those really great movies they don't make anymore on the Disney Channel that they only play, very Halloween Town. And I don't know how I was feeling about that. I did enjoy the aspect of Rich lying. And even the whole play with the camera. Oh, I dropped the camera. Oh, I got a picture. It felt goofy. I wasn't rocking with that. And when it did get more into the sinister vibes, because we're running for our life in this graveyard and we all make it out, all but Will just decides, I'm gonna go on in there and walk in there. What are you walking in there for? Get on your raggedy duffel bag, get on your bike, and roll your ass away. No, he just decides to be Curious George, and we're literally this close with Pennywise. I feel like we're close enough to get a visual in the picture, and for him to see that arm, baby, Pennywise has grabbed kids for less. Why didn't you grab Will? Why he ain't like, what was that? I don't want him to grab Will, but you take your little happy self in there. Why? What are you doing? But of course, we get this picture and we develop them and make them out. And oh, now we got our proof. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to get my daddy out of jail. But is this a clown? We think that's a clown. I'm like, if y'all got a clown out of that, cool. I don't know what the hell it is. It's just infrared and strange looking, but I don't know if it's giving me clown. But this was probably my least favorite moment in the episode. I really didn't like this. Ashley?
I did not hate this. However, I think this should have been its own episode. I think it was such a tonal shift that you needed to put it on its own and have it be like one of those standalone kid moments, like kid adventure type situations. If you wanted to go this route, I did think the bikes in the cemetery was a fun time. My major issue with this, and I say this all the time, especially when you get into spiritual things, I think that closed practices and real life spirituality shouldn't necessarily be put into shows. Like him calling on the Orishas and practicing his Santeria in this, I don't like that. Like don't do that. Like I just feel like this is being this you're acting, you're doing X, Y, or Z. Make up something. You know what I mean? I think to call on actual deities that people worship is a fine line. That's just for me. But outside of that, I did wonder, and I wonder if there's something sacred there that they couldn't be harmed. Because when little Will went down the well, I was like, "Bye, little Timmy. Like you're out of there." And then when he got up, I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Like okay, he's gonna make it." Again, it did not fit with the rest of the episode, which is why I feel like this episode should have been two different ones. But it was okay. Like I said, I like to see the youthful jubilance of children and going about. I did like seeing little Teddy and Richie and the baby sister chasing them though. I thought that was pretty fun. But yeah, outside of that, and then the picture at the end, I was like, y'all could have done a better job. I saw Pennywise in the corner, I thought, in the back corner of the photo, but you could have made it more distinctive for the people. I'm hoping this is the last time we get this and that we get back on the page for episode 4. But I mean, it was, it was fine, you know.
Why are like, it's a clown? Like,
And we
really?
know those photos are gonna melt or disintegrate as soon as we
I
get.
was waiting that room to develop those photos and that red light. I was like, "Ooh, this would be the perfect moment to have like an OG Pennywise reference, whether he's sticking his hand out of the photo album or he's jumping out of the screen when the kids are in the garage looking at the old family films." I was waiting. I was like, "Ooh, like let's do a little something with the kids." Because what photos? And it was like, "Nope, we're gonna actually get this." But this would be the main intent to have them run around with these photos, and it's like, "Oh yeah, we're really gonna keep your dad locked up now." And Lily, you brought what here? You thought you took what pictures? Are you crazy? You are crazy. Let's send you home back down to the asylum. That's all that's going to happen from this. But baby, the whimsy here in the haunted mansion, as Dane called it, and baby Coco here, I thought Rich was going to go, so what are we doing here? Amor mi amor. I thought we were going to go over there with Grandma Coco. It was very whimsy and Disney like. Don't take me to the Goosebumps streets. I love a good Goosebumps episode, but not right here, not in this show. Not when y'all hit us with kids in danger and pregnancy and they. Do you know what you did the first 2 episodes? You can't do this. Why are you going so light? Don't do that. When the scares come, they come. Thank you so much. Once again, somebody got paid. Somebody got paid, and we appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Helen discovering Pennywise that was completely all practical effects. Give the show. I am. That was just bad though, especially when they were sitting in a perfectly good. I don't know if it was an actual graveyard or a cemetery, or this was something that they had a structure, they had a set. Because when you watch those behind the scenes, it was there. For whatever reason, they decided to use that blue screen and have them fake riding these bikes. Oh yeah, we wouldn't want them to have to ride bikes and act at the same time. Their words, not mine. So we're just gonna wave these branches and have a blue screen. Like, no, keep it where it needs to be. Everything so far with them consistently combining the practical and the special effects, like the pickles and the whole thing, those things have been really, really great. This was the first time that I was like, yeah, don't do that again. Don't do that again because they've been meshing them this entire time. I was not a fan, but I'm gonna let them make it. I can bend. I can bend, but I'm gonna say when something's goofy. I thought this was goofy and childish as hell. I don't want to go over here. This ain't the Goonies. This is it. We eating and killing kids in movie theaters. Now we down here riding on the Disney Channel. Don't do that. But getting into our favorite place, Billy, predictions. I think Charlotte about to take me through there. Take me through there. Where we going, twin? We going to get Hank. Because did he receive due process? What proof do you have? And they're going to be trying to look her up and down. Who are you? Did you just get here? Were you just a teacher? But yeah, I'm a black woman. Who cares? I'm here to ask some questions. And we may have Charlotte talk some more with Rose and maybe get some more information there. Because Rose is the keeper of the secret. She knows, more than she's letting on. I'm sure we'll get that later. And I feel like since we had Pennywise take notice of Will because we stood there enough to take that picture. I was like, Pennywise, you've bitten kids' heads off for less. I think he gonna go after him with everything he got. It's gonna be real interesting, and where he thought he saw a little bit just to believe. I love when they got together and she was like, Ronnie was like, hell yeah, come here, boy. I thought you was dead. You can't be playing with me like give me a hug. And we do have a moment towards the end where Ronnie and Lily are holding hands. So it's like, you know what? We're friends. We'll see where that goes. They tried, but I want to know how deep this friendship is going to go when they try to present whomever with these pictures. Hopefully, it's not old Bowers here, and they throw them to the side. But I think it's going to be real interesting for our families here because all of this is going to be happening. And they're gonna be on their necks, and then you're gonna have a Leroy over there. Here you go again, Charlotte, stirring up controversy. This ain't none of your business. Daddy, did you see that? Did you see we were fishing? Have you? Yeah, I ain't see nothing. Get it together. Be a man, Will. Leroy gonna piss me off. I know he is. I just know it because he's not gonna listen to his family. Ashley.
I just really think, Charlotte's gonna be out and about, out front. We're really gonna see her stand up this episode because, of course, we're gonna see Hank on the line. When baby Regina hugged Will like that, I said, "Oh, y'all are besties for the resty." Like I felt it. I was like, "Oh, okay." That they see each other. They hear. When little boy said, "But this is America," and Will said, this America, like Ronnie, they're gonna be each other's comfort, I think, in this moment because I think they really understand each other. So I'm excited to see more of that. I hope we get some more backstory. I hope we have another flashback where we really get some tea, and I too hope that Rose and Charlotte connect. And Rose gives us a real breakdown of Derry and like, why are you here? Maybe you should leave. I'm waiting for Charlotte to get an official warning. Like maybe this isn't the place you want to be. I'm looking for that in episode 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hashley and Slasher, we are here. We're always here for the opinions and the commentary. We are loving the show too. Like, thank you so much for that. Y'all be sure to comment down below as far as your predictions and what you're expecting. We are loving the show. It's a very, very good time. I'm just hurt that it's only whatever happened to a solid 10 and 12 episodes. Everything's 8 now. Why man, it gotta be cute to give me 8? Like, what's up with that? Y'all couldn't license and give us at least 10? It's gonna be over as soon as it starts to get juicy, and we know they're saving Pennywise for the end. I said, look at Skarsgård got his little credit. Like, okay, we got to pay the man. He got to get executive producer credit on the show. We got that, so we got him for how many episodes and how many sparse moments. We can't have Bill down here all the time. He costs too much. But we're going to get him, and then as quickly as we get him, and we're probably going to get that fire, I feel like it's going to be over. Anything else you want to share, Ashley?
No, thank y'all for coming through. Please, before you get out of here, be sure to like the live if you had a great time with us. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be back to watch Breaking Bad, doing a live reaction, watching together in the Discord and on YouTube. And then back to All's Fair. And we've got some other stuff in the pike. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And thank y'all for coming through tonight and supporting the live. We appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Y'all know I have never seen Breaking Bad, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I had a cackle last week, and I want another one, because why you falling on them stairs like that? But we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, and we will see you next time. Remember to comment and like the video. Good night, y'all.
White shirt, now red, my bloody nose leak.